Here we are again, bouncing down a dusty dirt road in the heart of Africa. Every turn brings us closer to exciting wildlife, new stories, and another adventure waiting for us to discover. Welcome to Tanzania. Let's see what amazing treasures we can find today. Next on our safari journey through Tanzania, we're visiting the Ngorongoro crater. Located in northern Tanzania, the Ngorongoro crater was formed about 2.5 million years ago when an active volcano collapsed in on itself following a massive eruption. When the dust finally settled, a bowl-shaped caldera measuring 10 to 12 miles in diameter was left standing with an intact outer rim rising up nearly 2,000 feet into the air. These steep crater walls create a natural enclosure, concentrating a large variety of wildlife within its 100 square miles of expansive grasslands, swamps, rivers, salty shorelines, and thick, lush forests. Getting to the Ngorongoro crater from our lunch stop near Lake Manyara starts out as a short and easy drive on mostly paved roads. However, once we start to climb up the outer slope of the crater's rim, the road conditions change drastically, turning to dirt and narrowing considerably. But we are in good hands. Albert has been driving these roads for nearly a decade, skillfully navigating the path with a perfect blend of precision and caution. When we finally reach the summit of the rim, we take a quick break at the observation point to appreciate the stunning panorama of the crater, beautifully illuminated by an afternoon sun. So what do you think, Jeff? Pretty impressive?
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Where are we?
Tanzania.
Where in Tanzania?
Ngorongoro.
Ngorongoro crater. That is the Ngorongoro crater. We're spending 2 nights here and staying at the Ngorongoro Safari Lodge, built along the rim and nestled high above the crater's floor. No wonder climbing a flight of stairs is so hard. We're over a mile high here. Our room is comfortable with all the necessary amenities. However, the decor may be somewhat cartoonish. Despite the questionable decor, it's the view that makes this place 5 stars. Let's take a look outside. Oh, it's very peaceful. So this is the Ngorongoro crater. Very, very famous for amazing wildlife and absolutely gorgeous environment. We are up on the rim right now in our hotel, and tomorrow we'll spend the day down there in the crater.
It's big for a caldera. Can't imagine. Well, so I guess it went up and then it exploded. So this is why it's so low.
This is the crater.
It's so big because...
This is the volcanic crater that was left afterwards.
Yeah, but...
Jeffrey's reading all about Tanzania. You didn't do your research before we came on the trip, so now you're doing it while we're on the trip, huh? Early the next morning, before the sun is up, we are back in our Land Cruiser and headed down into the crater. The narrow road leading down into the crater is paved with cobblestones, winding along the steep rim walls and offering a gradual descent to the crater's floor. As we make our way down, we are treated to a most spectacular sunrise over the far eastern edge of the rim. We're barely down in the crater when we have our first sighting of the day, a serval cat. Solitary by nature, our guide tells us this pairing of serval cats could indicate that we have come across a mother and her almost grown offspring. After a quick stop for a picnic breakfast and some very much needed hot coffee, we spend the next few hours driving around the various trails that crisscross the crater floor. With a large saltwater lake surrounded by flat grasslands comprising the majority of this landscape, it was easy to see for miles and miles in all directions. The existence of several varying ecosystems within such a small footprint provided a unique opportunity to see and photograph a diverse variety of birds, something I find particularly challenging under even the best of circumstances. But when provided with abundant opportunities, the odds were finally in my favor for once. But look, oh, that one's really pregnant.
Oh wow, look at the belly. Yeah.
Do you see the belly? That is really pregnant. As beautiful as this all was, after a few hours it started to feel like we were driving around in circles, retracing our steps and seeing the same animals over and over as they also moved about the crater floor. I'm not complaining, but instead making an observation about the reality of visiting a comparatively small, confined environment. The Ngorongoro crater is frequently described as one of Africa's most extraordinary safari destinations, and while it certainly has its merits, the reality can feel more subdued. The crater floor reliably delivers a large number of zebra, wildebeest, and gazelle, creating and surrounding you with a classic East African savanna. But sightings of the more elusive wildlife are not noticeably more abundant than what you might experience in any of the other well-managed national parks and concessions throughout the continent. The setting itself is undeniably beautiful, and the crater's formation is an impressive geological phenomenon that adds a sense of drama to the landscape. However, its relatively small size concentrates both animals and people into a limited area. This can lead to overcrowding, especially during peak season, which detracts from the feeling of solitude many of us seek on this type of vacation. In the end, it comes down to managing your expectations, which, by the way, is a mandatory prerequisite for any safari trip. Case in point, this pair of jackal. I was not expecting them to do anything, especially not chase down a gazelle. I found the Ngorongoro crater to be a worthwhile visit for its tranquil scenery and its unique geography. It may not surpass other safari experiences in terms of overall wildlife diversity or exclusivity. However, I'm glad we went, and I will cherish the memories from this wonderful experience. Our exit from the crater followed a different trail from our morning drive and took us twisting and turning up through a dense evergreen highland forest. This lush, rain-fed vegetation is a stark contrast to the dry grasslands of the crater floor and provides a natural habitat to a wide variety of wildlife, including leopards, primates, and elephants. Unfortunately, there's no place to stop and explore this ecosystem, so we had no choice but to continue along the narrow, one-way road leading us up and out of the crater. We're back at our lodging after spending the day down in the Ngorongoro crater, or caldera, and covered head to toe in dust, but doesn't matter, and enjoying a nice beverage and the view. I know it doesn't look that big from up here, but when you're down there, it's actually quite big. Cheers! The next day, we catch a final glimpse of the sun rising over the eastern rim before we say our final farewell. As we leave the Ngorongoro crater, headed west towards the Serengeti, the steep and lush forested slopes slowly give way to gentle rolling hills covered by volcanic grasslands and punctuated with the occasional Maasai village. It's one of these Maasai villages that we are headed to next.
Guys, this is my village.
Yeah?
And I've decided to check here. And now I'm going to ride.
The Maasai people have lived in the Ngorongoro region for centuries, long before the area was designated a conservation zone. Many of the Maasai communities in this region continue to live in traditional bomas, balancing ancestral practices with the realities of modern conservation policies and technology. Each Maasai village is essentially an extended family compound consisting of a family chief, which is more of an administrative title, elders, young warrior men who guard the village and herd the animals, and of course the women and children that form the basis of the family unit. The Maasai have preserved a strong cultural heritage expressed through distinctive dress, historical traditions, ceremonial dances, and a deep spiritual connection to the land, making them one of East Africa's most enduring and recognizable indigenous cultures.
Okay. So for women, you have a necklace like them in order for show.
Okay.
For men, you're going to have a club, like a talking stick, which in Maasai we use like a microphone. The chief they used to talk with the people with the club. So this is for you.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so this is our kindergarten school. And 4, 5, 6. In the primary, they're going to have a uniform school because it's a government school. They're going to have uniform, exercise for reading and writing, and they're going to have a new teacher, which is from the government. That's why we have a donation box here, because we are going to start paying like for them a little bit school fees for the teachers who are going to teach them. So welcome, and this is our traditional house.
Okay.
And in Maasai is a job of women to build the house. Then we have acacia wires, acacia, and we have some finally out of the house that we use making by cow have more wind, and they get to be warm. Wow. So guys, this is our traditional house. Well, it's like when we see here. And first of all, our house, we have a 2-bedroom. And our first bedroom, that one behind chief. And it's for small children, that one behind you. And the second one there is for parents. Okay?
For parents?
That's for parents. And behind you is for the chief. For the small children, sorry.
Yeah.
It's for parents, this is for small children. Right?
Yep.
And Here is the way we cook. But when we touch here, this is the skin of cow.
Oh, leather.
We use like a mattress. It's a leather, skin of cow, using like a mattress. And also, this is the way we cook. As I told you there, after men making the fire, we used to take inside and the women coming to prepare like a food here.
Yeah.
And you know, we used to take inside because when you see our house here is very dark.
Yes.
And because in Maasai here, no any kind of electricity light. So you're always using the fire like a light.
I'll be honest, I was initially hesitant to visit one of these villages, suspecting it was merely a tourist trap designed to sell handmade trinkets. And yes, there was indeed an element of targeted tourism. However, the authenticity of the experience far outweighed the staged aspect, making it an informative and worthwhile visit. Coming up next, we're headed to the Serengeti. Visiting the Serengeti is one of those rare travel experiences that truly lives up to its reputation, and we are headed there next.